Hello everyone, my name is Shona, and today I will be your tutor, and we are going to learn about the selection tools in Photoshop. So, let's get started.
Welcome back, everybody. So, now that we've covered different parts of Procreate to Photoshop, let's go into how we work on with the transform tools and the selection tools as well. So I'm going to bring up Procreate information really quick. Control F and space. So I just have the bar up here that says selection tool, and right now I took a still shot of the freehand selection right here. So in Procreate this is called freehand, and you have automatic and you have rectangle and ellipse. In Photoshop this is called something else. This is called the lasso tool or the polygon lasso tool. So I'm going to show you these today, and they pretty much do the exact same thing. They just decided to name it something else. So that, actually, let me bring this one back up. There we go. Leave that right there. Okay. So let's turn this one off. So this over here, this is where your lasso tool is. Your keyboard shortcut is L. Very, very useful. However, if you click and hold, you get, well, you don't have to keep holding, you just hold it one time. You see under L, you see different ones. You see the polygon lasso tool and the magnetic lasso tool. I like to use this one, especially when I don't have a tablet but I need precise selection. This is very, very good for, like when you don't, like I said, you don't have the freedom to kind of like move naturally. And I don't have a tablet right now, and so I can use the polygon lasso tool to select areas that I need to select. If I make a mistake, no worries. I'm just going to cut into the body like that. I'm going to change up here. Remember last time I talked about this, if you change it to add selection area, I always keep it here regardless of what program I'm using. If I'm using Clip Studio, I do the exact same thing because it's just a part of my workflow. It's easier to swap between the subtraction and addition when you have it right here, and so that's what I'm doing right now. And you know you've done it right if you see the plus sign next to the lasso tool cursor. And so now I can go and add this little piece back into the selection right there. And if I want to subtract stuff, like maybe this isn't as close as I'd like it to be, let me add this in there. I can hold on Alt or Option on a Mac, and I can go in and cut that out. And the problem, wait, where's the little tip? Right there. There we go. And cut this part out too. Okay. So there. That is what you want. That's how the freehand or lasso tool works. And I can go back to the lasso tool, and I can simply just add this back in. See, and I can continue. The other selection tool that's not available in Procreate but is in Photoshop is the quick selection tool. As you can see, that's what it does. It's a lot more accurate in the newer ones, but as you can see, it's selecting it on a wider scale than it would if I did it with the lasso tool. But as you can see, it has this little issue here that it does this, and I don't like when it does that. So typically I use it to get a wider area selected like that. like that. And then I can go in and I can tidy it up. Subtract this off. So. Okay. Okay, so did some experimentation. All right, so you have the lasso selection tool. There is a actual there's an option to remove background, but before I show you guys that, I'm gonna make this selection as messy as I possibly can. Okay, let's say I want to really go in detail and fix this selection, right? But maybe I'll get better selections if I use a different tool. And so over here you have this little option right here. If you click it, makes everything red. Everything red is outside of the selection, and everything that's obviously not, he is the selection. So everything else is outside of it is not selected. So you want to get the eraser, and you just want to go in and you want to use it to erase around his ears and things like that, just around your selection. If you press X and you go to the black, it will remove the red, and that will increase the selection area. So that does. See? If I flip it, I don't want this, so I'm gonna hold on, click and shift, and I'm gonna make a nice little, just bring up the hardness for that. So there we go. That's much better. And now I'm just removing that selection. Yeah, so I tend to use this type of selection for the hair and like fine lines and stuff. Just that. There we go. But like in places like right here. I'm gonna make this really tiny, and then I'm just going to go in. I'm gonna bring back my hardness. Lower it, I mean. And I'm just gonna do this like so. So now there's a selection. So a little tiny one here. There is something here, but I'm gonna round this out so it looks more plausible instead of just mush. Let's get his flyaways. That's one of the things that's really hard to get in Photoshop, is like the flyaways for here. And so the more up-to-date Adobe allows you to do some really neat things with the remove background option, which I'll show you in a little bit. He's got some here, over here. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this because I'm just doing the selections because I just want you guys to see it. And I'm not gonna get so caught up into it, because I will get caught into this, because this just gets kind of therapeutic, if you will. I'm gonna do that. Just make this a little bigger so I can fill in this space more. Okay. Now all I have to do now is just click back the same thing, and there it goes back to your marching ants. But there you see now I've cleaned up the selection quite a bit. See that? It's been cleaned up quite a lot. Okay, so now what I had done, let's Control D's to deselect. what I had done is I brought this back up. It's under the properties tab. This is what I mean by if I need something from somewhere, I will go and find it. I don't need to actually have it up here because it's just it's too clunky. It's too much. You don't need it there. So if you let me do it on a different one, because I did do it earlier. So let me rasterize that layer and bring this guy over here so you can see the comparison. So for this, you're going to scroll down to where it says quick actions, right? Not this one. Here. It just says remove background. It doesn't really give me the option to go in and select the area much. However, if you look over in your layers, it's giving you a mask. That's what this is. This is a mask. So you're going to click the mask and you can feather it and increase the density. So 100%. Let's feather this bad boy. There we go. Feather it out, feather it out. Select and mask. There we go. That's much better. And now you can just kind of like play with it a lot more than I was able to. Smooth that out. Feather it. It's, as you can see, it is very, very, very hard to get the flyaways back from his hair. It's very, very hard. But it's starting to do it a little bit. There, that's actually a lot better than the first time I did this. Make this smooth. Get the feather a little bit. There, okay. So let's increase the contrast. A bit more. Okay. That's the edge. Alright. Turn that back off. It's okay. But now I'm not happy that it took this part off. So I can still go in and with my brush tool, keep it black and white, please. I can go in and flip it. Bring me back my, I guess I have to use the eraser. This one's weird. Give it back. Give it back. Thank you. And so flip it to black. And there he is. Okay. So you want to do that. I'm going to erase here. Simply because I don't want the actual edge of the picture itself. I can go in and I can erase here. There. So, like I said, I did it earlier, and let me enable the mask. And that's what I got the first time, and that was through me manually going in and trying to paint the mask. It kind of did it better the second time around, and you kind of have to fiddle with it a lot to get it, but I know that in the 2024 and 2023 versions of Photoshop, this does a much better job. So just keep that in mind. If you have an earlier or a later version of Photoshop, you will be able to do this a lot easier. But I'm just letting you guys know this exists so you know what it does, and it's easier for you to remove the background. He was tricky because he has so much hair up here. I made my life difficult. Okay, so moving on. I'm just going to show you marquee selections are here. Rectangular marquee. And there's the... yes, this selection. Single row marquee tool. No, I didn't want that. If I go here... Haha. What if I erase that? That's so cool. and then single column. Yeah, that's what that does. Here, selection. There it is. I did an inverted Mickey Mouse. Lovely. There you go. So you can, that's where your marquee selection tools are. All right, so
I hope you could follow along. The next topic will be about transform tools in Photoshop. I hope it helps. See you in the next one. Bye!